Peace. I haven't done one of these in a minute. I don't like to just do videos for the hell of it. But I actually spoke with a sister I've been knowing for a while, who has a son who may be going to the penitentiary for a long time. Sister asked me, you know, because she knows my past. I've been did some time in prison. And she asked, well, how factual is prison rape? Is um, that in a high percentile? Or is that, mostly myth? Some they tell young boys to keep them out of prison. You know, um, I have to keep it 100 with sister. And I keep it 100 with those of you who may be facing charges. Um, facing prison time. It's on an incline. You know, when I was in prison in the early '90s, mid '90s, prison rape was pretty much a thing of the past. It happened, but usually it happened in cases where a man come in who raped a child or accused of raping a child, molesting a child, I should say, or raped a woman, and those guys who were super tough, who in their display of their toughness forgot the number one rule in prison, which is respect. I don't give a damn who you are, black, white, Hispanic, Christian, Muslim, atheist, Satanist, none of that matters, man. Respect is everything in prison, you know. And guys who didn't understand that, on a late night, you may wake up to, to what sounds like a struggle a few cells down from yours, and some screaming, some crying, some moaning, and by the time breakfast come around, man, somebody being rushed to the prison hospital. But it was something that was rare. It didn't happen as much in the '90s as it did in the '80s and '70s and '60s, from what old heads told me. In the '80s, '70s, and '60s, man, it was very common. And it was mostly done out of sexual gratification. But with this new thug generation, this new culture generation, I hate to say thug, I'm not calling out people thug, but I mean that thug culture that's very popular right now, it's on a rapid increase. Everybody I know who's been incarcerated since the 2000s and been home, and we conversed or whatever, tell me that, yeah, it's that new in thing now. Even though you have a whole lot of openly gay people in prison, so it's not done out of sexual gratification, because again, you have openly gay men there, who don't mind, if you want to have sex with them or whatever, might have to give them some commissary items or something like that. I don't know. I've never partaken in that culture, but now it's more or less done to break you, to destroy you as a man. You know, Something else that's different from when I was incarcerated and now. When I was in prison, you had your neighborhood homeboys, people you grew up with. If you was from Richmond, naturally you click with the Richmond mob. If it go down, it go down. If you from Norfolk, you ran with the Norfolk mob. If it went down, it went down. You from D.C. or Northern Virginia, 9 times out of 10 you ran with the D.C. crew. You know what I mean? If it went down, it went down. Whereas, you was kind of forced to stand together. It's not like that anymore. Now, with this new culture, there's a higher presence of gangs, street gangs, Blood, Crip, Vice Lords, gangs like that. And the difference is, at one time, Richmond was Richmond, for an example. If you was from Richmond, you was with Richmond. Now you could be from my neighborhood. I'm from Creighton Court, for an example. You could be from Creighton Court, but I'd be a blood, and you be a Crip. And even though we grew up together from the sandbox, now we enemies. You know what I mean? And because we may one day, be on the street again, now I have to send a message. I have to break you before I even get back to the street. You know, that's the mentality. So, it's the rape thing is on the incline, but it's not, the way I understand it, is not so much for sexual gratification. It's almost like a war tactic. Break a man, break his brain, change how he see himself. You know what I mean? You take a man, not a little timid man, not a man that's on the fence, with some questions about his sexuality, but take a man, and bend him over, and then, send word on the street to his family, to his friends, what happened to him. You know what I mean? So when he get home, his family and friends don't even look at him the same. Now you broke him. So I mean, it's definitely real, and it break my heart to have to tell sister that. This is somebody I've known for a long time. And it breaks my heart to have to tell those of you who may be facing prison time that that's what you walking into. My only advice to you is this, man. Walk the way you walk on the street. You know what I mean? If you walk a certain type of way on the street, that's how you carry yourself in prison, man. Don't be extra. You know what I mean? If you want no super thuggy, tough guy, don't go to prison and try to be one. You know what I mean? If you pretty much was a dolo type guy when you went, when you caught your charge or whatever, for the most part, try to carry yourself dolo. One thing about prison, everything is respect. I've never had a situation or known a situation to occur where somebody just jumped on a man who walked by himself but carried himself with a certain respect, walk a certain type of way. Usually that man is good, because subconsciously we're cautious about people we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that guy who stays to himself, keep his distance, might work out every day, letting it be known subconsciously that he's in shape, he's ready. It's possible that he can carry himself if, hold his own if it goes down. That guy people usually stay away from. It's that cocky guy. That guy that's in everybody's face, that's bumping his gums, that's, telling all his war stories, how many people he beat, he gave the hands to or whatever, that get tried in prison. That's been my experience. Sister, and I'm about to bring this to a close, sister also asked me about religion and homosexuality in prison. Again, in prison, certain groups such as the Christians, for an example, and I'm not beating up on them, that's like a safe haven for homosexuals. When you go to church service in prison, down there the whole congregation is homosexual. I'm not bashing, I'm just giving it 100. That's not something you really find in the Islamic groups. I've known 5%ers that fool with sisters. I've known brothers in the Moor sides temper to fool with sisters. When I was a captain, we actually put a brother out the Nation of Islam. It was reported that he was in the shower whacking off, and a sister was at the other end of the shower. Technically he won't get on with the boy, but it just ain't look right. We couldn't have that in the NOI. So again, yeah, you got homosexuality in the religious groups, man. Again, you don't find too much of that in Islamic groups, but it's there. If you scratch the surface, long enough, some will pop up, but it's usually something you'll find in the Christian groups, Also, my last bit of advice, man, is try to stay out of prison. It's nothing cool about prison. Trust me, I gave them people some numbers, man. It's nothing cool about prison or prison culture, man. I mean, it's not cool, man. Stay home with your family, your wife, your girlfriend, your children, what have you, man. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do to stay out here, man. You know, create a business for yourself or go work. You know, save up your money till you go a business for yourself. But don't throw rocks at the penitentiary. You only want that. Peace.